focused on my recovery from postpartum psychosis. This is going to be a really big aid for me personally, just to see what I'm like, giving you an update every now and again. And it's a good way for me to monitor how I'm behaving myself. Just as a side note, I'm aware that I'm extremely lucky. I had a lot of people protecting me when I was quite ill, and I was sent to the right place. And I know that in lots of countries, women just don't have that facility of being a mother and baby unit. So I'll try and talk quite sensitively about my recovery. These are just the things that work for me, because one thing I will say is that I'm still in recovery. I'm just under 3 months out of hospital, so it is still quite raw, and I'm aware that I'm still unwell, just loads better from when I was first diagnosed. So these are the things that I found essential for my recovery. Sleep is really important to me now. I class it as very dangerous if you don't sleep, because the illness, it just perpetuates the illness. It's the sort of illness where you can stay up for days and days and days. And I don't know how our bodies can even do that, but I was awake for a long time when I was really ill, and I wasn't going to sleep. Getting that sleep pattern was really important. Luckily, in the hospital, there were healthcare assistants that used to look after the babies while the mums slept, which for the first 2 months, that was brilliant, because the biggest step was to have my baby in my room with me at night. And after I got over that, that was a really big turning point in my recovery, when my baby slept with me in a cot in the bedroom. So that was like a breakthrough thing for me. I came off the sleeping tablets because they give me a bit of a hangover for the rest of the day, and I was unable to have the energy to take care of my son. So I now sleep naturally, which is really good. Probably the one most important thing to my recovery was medication. So I'll just quickly run through what I'm on at the moment. So I'm on an antipsychotic called aripiprazole. I'm on an anti-anxiety tablet called pregabalin. I'm on an antidepressant called fluoxetine, or it is most commonly known as Prozac. And I'm on a side effect medication called procyclidine, which stops side effects. I don't know how it does this. It's miraculous. It stops all the side effects, which is brilliant. And I'm on ferrous sulfate, which is iron. Hi everybody, my son has woken up, so I'm going to have to finish this video later. Do you want to say hi? This is Howell. Howell, he's 6.5 months old. Are you going to smile? You're gonna smile. You're gonna smile. Yes, beautiful smile. He is the joy of my life. So he was my biggest medicine, weren't you, baby? You were the best medicine ever. Okay, so I'm gonna see you all later. Okay, cut to a few hours later. Hi everybody. My son is sleeping, so I've got 5 minutes. I want to talk about the different therapies I was having in hospital. So in hospital, I was so lucky to have had art psychotherapy. And if you think it's wishy and washy, it's really not. An art psychotherapist used to come into the hospital every week. We basically just had to draw how we're feeling at that point, or just put, crayon to paper or paint to paper and see what comes out of it, and it might mean something. I had so many breakthroughs through this type of therapy. I mean, you could try it at home, honestly, and I did for the first couple of weeks I was back. I had to do the art psychotherapy because that's the thing that really helped me loads. I received a therapy called EMDR, and I'll link some more information with regards to that at the bottom in the description box. So that was very intense. I would never be able to talk to you like this and stay emotionless talking about what I was seeing back when I was ill. I used to get so upset when I had to talk about it, but this therapy makes you go back there, and allows you to reprocess it and basically cry about what happened, and makes you reprocess it to the point where, you know, I can talk about it now, and I'm not as I can look at it now with an arm's length. So yeah, so that was the therapy I received. I thought it had really good outcomes, but everyone's different and everyone responds to different therapies. You might not like EMDR, but I found it had quite an impact on me, so that can only be positive, right? So next thing I want to talk about is baby massage. I was so lucky to have this facility in the hospital because it really helps with your bond with your baby. Luckily, my bond is amazing with my baby, and I really think that things like baby massage and going to sensory groups with him really helped, and just spending time with him, it grows, love grows, and your bond grows. One thing I want to talk to you about is eating. Once a week, a mum had to cook for the rest of the mums and the staff, so you will probably be cooking for about 15 to 20 people, which sounds a lot, and believe me, it took me about a month before I could even try and cook. I found it really like a big thing in my head, but yeah, that really helps with your recovery. Cooking, I find this really therapeutic. The garden in the hospital, it was okay. The hospital was based in an industrial estate, which isn't the most ideal of places, but it had a little garden, and I felt really connected to the garden. It was a really good way of getting away from things, try mindfulness and things like that. So if you've got access to a green space somewhere, then go to it, making sure it's like your little space, you know. And yeah, I really like the garden. I've got a really good community mental health team around me, and I see a psychologist at a group. So it's a group for mums or pregnant women who suffer with maybe anxiety, bad thoughts, and it's called acceptance therapy. I don't know too much about it because I've only been to 2 classes, so I'm no expert, do you know what I mean? But I find it's really helping me get back into my mindfulness, because that's what they talk about. Writing stuff down, writing how you feel down, just write. You might be writing mad things like I was, but it helped. These are my tips, and just be kind to yourself. Forgive yourself. That's my hardest one to do for me, is to be kind to myself and to protect myself as well. If you're having dark thoughts, tell somebody, whether it's a helpline, whether it's somebody in the street, whether it's maybe not in the street, but whether it's somebody you know, tell them how you're feeling, and make sure you protect yourself. Okay, I hope this video has helped somebody, and if you've got your own ways of recovering from this illness or any other mental illness, you know, please feel free to comment and I'll get back to you. And try not to isolate yourself. It's so easy to isolate yourself. Make sure that you talk to people. I'm still on my journey, and I can't really tell you what to do, because you can only do what's good for you. Okay, bye.